Welcome back to Bbpn. I'm your host Cadet Tank as we go into round 2 of the WCQ. Now, you'll probably be surprised, but we got off to a really quick start and some divisions are already in round 3. But it's okay, because all of our casters are ready to go and deliver you that hot information that you need to plan for the rest of the round. So, with no bullshit aside, and the Scum sweet rat team up there, we are going to continue and go straight to Panda in the MCC.
I got broads in Atlanta, just to the lean the family, credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van.
Good evening, ghouls and goblins. Panda here, coming at you with some MCC coverage. We've got started with round 2. Match day 2 is underway for most divisions, and some have even rolled to match day 3. So let's go ahead and take a peek at the MCC. So our team has come out to Finhel, the High Elves, Daffo with his Orcs, Mercy Flesh with Zons, Slrim with Underworld, Pegleg with Nurgle, Splinter with Dwarf, and an AI opponent just because someone hadn't accepted their ticket yet and we got things moving along. So, with that said, we do have a few games played, so we'll take a crack at the leaderboard before we dive into the teams. So, as you can see, Mercy Flush is already at 6 points. There's a total of 6 games this round, or 6 match days. So 6 points is a real good start right off the bat. These two have not played, so Daffo and Finhill have not played their second games yet. Splinter and Peg have not played theirs either. So this is still very much in flux. However, starting off with two wins and 6 points this early is pretty big, so that's a real good start for the Zons. Yep. So that's it. There's not a whole lot to cover. We'll take a peek over at Finhell, see where he's at, and just work down the teams real quick. So, Finhell's Vanguard. I had the pleasure of playing Finhell in round 1, so I know the team is pretty gnarly in the right hands. So, let's take a look. No levels on the thrower yet. Blodge Blitzer, AG Up Blitzer with Tackle, Mighty Blow Catcher with Block and Tackle. That is gross. Block catcher, block lineman, kick. So pretty good elf lineup. He's not running a 12th player. Go away, Windows Firewall. He's still at 2 rerolls, so he's keeping his team value trim. Most of his rerolls are built into the team, so he can really get away with 2. He doesn't do any fancy leaping, woodies, or anything fancy like that. So 2 is pretty decent for these guys. With that said, the team looks alright. He's only got one injury with a movement down. It's not a big deal. Put him on the line and let him fight for his life. Alright, Finhell. Well, good luck, man. Team looks good. I'm glad you made the cutoff. Quebec City Nats Club, Daffo, another team we've covered several times. But let's take a look. Oh, look, went Almighty Blow first, and Tackles finally started picking up cards. Strength 5 Black Orc. Throwers, I keep doing this too. It's not a thrower, it's a lineman with sure hands who's about to pick up a 2nd level. Black Orc with Block, and Troll with Grab. So I like that. I really don't think we see enough Grab and Leap play, and I appreciate the pickup, Daffo. I think that's a good choice. Orcs are sitting at 4 rerolls, which I think is a little too high. You can probably trim 1 and bring that TV down. 1620 is really high for where we're at. I really don't think you need to be giving away free inducements. But you're also running 13 deep, so you could trim a lineman if you really wanted to keep the 4 rerolls, but yeah. Team feels a little bloaty, but no, it's not too terrible. And yeah, I think it's doing well, and it's certainly capable with Daffo at the helm. Mercy Flesh with the NATTS Skippers. So, Amazon's all dodge, 13 deep, block, 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 block. Notice the theme here? Block, 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 block. It's got some wrestle. Fend on a catcher. The double movement down's rough. 5 to 6 is kind of a big deal. You know, not as much as from 3 to 4, obviously, or 4 to 5, but going down from 6 to 5 really got to hurt a lot, and I think you'd want to try to replace one of these. It's got 70k in the bank, so certainly can, but Mercy knows what he's doing better than I do with Zons, because I don't know anything about them apart from they never go down when I punch them. 3 rerolls, 1 apo, and yeah, team is trim at 13 players, so he's only at 1280, so he's going to be grabbing inducements and probably going that route with the star players most likely. So good luck, Mercy. I know you're a smart guy and you know what you're doing. Underworld. Underworld, let's take a look. Motto? Still no team. This is Team Motto. Motto, come on. Something. Fluff it. Mighty Blow Claw, Mighty Blow Claw, block extra arms, block extra arms. Horns, big hand. Big hand goblin is nasty. This team looks very well where they're at, right? I like this. This is good. They've got decent development on the key players, short of the troll anyway. And yeah, it looks pretty decent. So good job there. 4 rerolls. If I remember correctly, Underworld are reroll dependent early on, but he's got the block and skills, so he could probably trim 1. I know they like to play the inducement game, but at 1370, he's pretty even with a lot of us, a lot of the other coaches, and he's running a 13-player roster as well. This is good. He's got a good bench, and I expect him to do well. Peg leg with Nurgle coming in at 1520. No level on the beast yet. Alright, so block on the warriors. Rodder with block and tackle. AG at Presti, that's awesome. Mighty Blow, dodge. So this team looks good. I'd like to see something on the heavier side. So the Nurgle Warriors got block, but they're really hard to skill up. They don't have AG3 like Chaos Warriors. So you're kind of at the mercy of the MVP levels there. The Beast is at 5 of 6, so 1 cast away from picking up his skill. Yeah, I think the team looks nice. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players as well. Expect some fouling from the Rotters if they stay alive. And he's got all 4 Prestigors. Expect this guy to pick up some levels. And finally, Splinter with Pulvis and his Dwarfs. AG up Dwarf, that's gross and nasty. Kick Blitzer, that's fine, I guess. I don't think that's an ideal skill for a Blitzer. I definitely haven't really seen kick taken on positionals on the Dwarfs, but I felt like he needed kick, I guess. It can be done. It can help out, especially with the short kicks. Blodge on the runner is nice. Block on the other. No levels on the slayers. Guard, so that's fine. And then he's got dodge on this guy. So taking full advantage of that OP Blodge combo. They come with tackle too, so the piece will be pretty mobile and pretty good looking. Good looking Dwarf Team Splinter. I'd like to see some more guard, but you definitely got the build out to stay in it till the playoffs. Should you make it that far? So. Good luck, man. With that, we are wrapped up. I know it's shorter than usual, but we're only really covering 6 teams. So remember, guys, Pandas never lose. We only win less.
Good coverage, Panda. I don't know about you, but man, I just don't see McMackey's Amazons going down, especially if they got past the Dwarves already. Okay, so let's go over to Discom with whoever paid him the most for this week's division name.
lads. Okay, so let's take a peek here at the Nuffle Reform Division, because congratulations, lads, you're here on round 2. Now, as you can see, 6 teams of different qualities and calibers did actually advance, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a full review of the teams, and then we're going to actually go and take a look what happened during weeks 1 and 2. Alright, let's start this one off. Right, so here we are, Marienburg Golden Gods. They have fought their way and survived to get into the second round, but good lord, if they got a fight ahead of them. This division is not going to show any mercy. Well, hopefully neither is Marienburg. So let's take a look here. 3 rerolls, both to carry. They got the fan factor. They've even bought a coach's assistant. That's to carry the sheer amount of drugs he's going to have to take to get through this entire round 2. So let's take a look. He's built up the surviving new round of blitzes here, and they are starting to skill up phenomenally. He's even got the tackle and multi-blow. Might be really key in this one here. The AG up, there's the Bulldog. He's got the one guard. This might be a problem coming down. I think the thrower has actually become the flutie of the team, as it mentioned before, and now he's got the catchers here. And you can see he's actually decided to design pass block as one of the new skills for the catchers. So it's almost situational. How well is this team going to do? That's a really tough question. He's going to have a flurry of crazy games, and he's going to have to start taking a couple of risks to see can he get out a couple of key wins. What is the potential team rating? That's a really good question here. Let's take a look here. Yes, they're rated as 4 out of 7 cyanide capsules. He's going to need them. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Alright, now let's take a look at the Pro Elves who made it in there. Look what he's engineered. He has been learning the Pro Elves. Of course, you could have picked a better division. Well, there's nothing for it. You're going to have to thrive. Let's see what the coach can actually do with the team. Let's take a look at the lads themselves here. 3 rerolls, pot to carry, a fan factor. This might be a major turning point when it comes to kickoff rolls, and God knows he actually needs it. And then take a look at the blitzes. He has built them into a phenomenal machine here of blodge, sidestep, tackle, even the jump up. He wants this player in the thick of it any chance he gets. If he survives, he's off and running. Diving tackle, crazy skill to have. Might actually come in handy, especially combined with the sidestep. And then, of course, yeah, here's the superstar catcher. And here's the tragedy. He's at the rebuilding start with the new one there after the dramatic death there. The next one, again, he's a great superstar. There is the thrower. There's much debate about this one here. Going, did he buy the right skill with accurate? Because, let's face it, AG5, accurate, this thing's a howitzer. It really is. I don't actually doubt this. I think it's actually a good purchase because he has no fear of just only long bombing, and he's doing it on 3s for crying out loud with, of course, the pass reroll. Seriously, I don't think this is a bad purchase. And then, of course, the lineman here who's got a kick and the block because he wants this one to survive, and then the rest he doesn't care. And pure and simply, he just doesn't care. If they ever achieve anything, good on them, but not really. The great part is he's got the deep bench of 12. That's saying something for Pro Elves here. Can they actually do it? Well, the style of the coach is going to basically sum it all up in there, and how crazy he does in his first matchups and his first pairings. His rating, bag of Heisenberg's finest, because let's face it, he's going to be taking a lot of that to get through this division. Alright, let's go take a look at our next victim, shall we? Alright, you knew we're going to take a good look at this one here, the Burning Machines. So, what is Mr. Light brought in to delight us? Let's take a look at this phenomenally good short team. How's he building? Look at the guard. Well-developed choice right along the line. His one exception, of course, is the kill piece, because he's got the claw, mighty blow. Yeah, he'll get around to it eventually, but that's his truest kill piece. And, of course, the ball centaurs, he's got the mandatory break tackle movement position. He's gone the guard because this is what he does. He runs escort, block, show hands. He's even got the... He's got the wrestle because he had nothing better to buy with the skill. Nothing interesting happened. He'll take wrestle just to get the players down. Poltergetty, 3 rerolls, the 9 fan factor. Watch out when the fans charge in. It's going to be great and awesome. So, can the team do well? It's going to be very hard to break through. He gets the ball in the center. Lots of luck getting the ball back. But, you know, it's interesting to see how this team's going to perform in this one particular division. They're going to have to just march down the field. Not having block on these, maybe... If he can get the next skill up there, block's probably what he's going to go for very quickly there. Because it's a very mobile division. And he's not exactly the most mobile of teams. But once he parks you somewhere, it's going to be a delight to see. So, what's the actual star rating for this team? 1 burned down and destroyed stadium once his fans get going. Alright, that's a delightful thing to see. Come on, lads. Alright, let's see who the next one is. Alright, okay, enough of that. Oh, I always love a good theme. Here we are, Atomic Love Boogie. The dwarves made it in. Yes, they indeed did. Now, it was looking touch and go for a bit for this team here. So let's take a look at what particular roster he's come up with. Fort's got to come in with a bit of a poser. 3 rerolls, Poltergetty, 5 fan factor. It's a bit low in this league, but that's alright. And then look what craziness he's got here. Here are the craziness of the long bits. He's slowly trying to build up the guard. He's got the stand firm on the armor injured. He looks like he's out another game. He's going to miss him probably doing the first one here. And then, of course, you know, there's the Troll Slayers. You know, Mighty Blow, of course. And, of course, the stand firm. It's a question mark why your boy stand firm on a Troll Slayer of all things when there's so many other selections. But then you start realizing there's a theme here. He really is going with the stand firm team. And maybe that's his key bit of brilliance. That's what the crazy sparkle in his eye is. It really is. Well, you see that as the sequence. Meanwhile, the blitzers. Tackle, Mighty Blow. Well, there's the one who chases everyone down. And there's the other one. Well, someday he'll get some skills. And then, of course, the one poor lone runner. He's got the dodge. Someday he'll actually buy the block. So... there's an interesting question. Can this team actually do well in this particular division? They just might. This might be a division where they least shine, because his target in the end is he doesn't need to win the division. He just needs to finish in the top 4. And he can do it. And that gives him 5 games to develop this team. And maybe in the end that's what the craziness is, and that's what the goal is. Can he do it? Of course he can. The Death Roller... maybe it's going to be full of surprises. Depends how he engineers it. Anyway, typical rating, of course, there. 8 out of 10 disco balls. I think this is just going to be the development division for him to just get to the final 16. Now, let's see who else we've got left. Alright, let's take a look at the Norse that did make their way into this division here. Welcome, you fine, sprightly, throbbing lads. Okay. So you're going, well, what's Norse going to do in this division? Take a look at what we've already seen. Well, let's take a look at what his team's actually built, and you might be in for a bit of a surprise or two. 6 fan factor, Apothecary, 3 team rolls. Okay, nothing spectacular there. That seems to be about the standard around here. And then let's see how he's developed the team there. He's got the one Berserker, someday he'll learn how to do something. He's got the other one, well, he's got the Tackle, he's got the Mighty Blow. He's got the Yeti, and he's got the Casualty. Now, the Yeti is his mixed bag, I admit, but admittedly having the Claw in this division might come in pretty handy. At least if he survives. That's going to be a key question there. He's had to replace his werewolves. They're having a rough time. He went with, of all things, God on this one. I guess he didn't want to waste, you know, a different role in case. Well, I'm surprised he didn't buy him block. He's going to need it. But, well, that was his choice there. It's a bit of a crazy one, I hate to admit. And then meanwhile, you take a look at the runner. This lad's about to do a lot of work. So he's going to need a quick casualty to get somewhere. Now here's the lineman who's become the crazy ball kitty. And normally the runners that anyone else would be. Nope, it's this lad because AG. And he bought the short hands because, well, it made sense. Why waste the reroll? So he's got a good plan there. And then here's the rest of the lineup. Nothing spectacular. No, really, there's nothing truly spectacular in there. It's going to come down to the style of the coach. And what can this team do? Because admittedly, it's got a whole lot of interesting blocking. He's just going to have to survive and survive hard. Maybe in the end, that's where a deep 14 bench is going to come in. So, can he do it? It's going to be a crazy call to make here. Anyway, though, we like the coach, and the Norse can do some interesting winners. They can probably get through round 2, because again, they just have to qualify for the final 4. Final ratings, a rainbow of flavors, 4 out of 5 snow counts. So let's see who our last team is. Right, okay, well, we knew this team was coming up here, and yeah, we got him in this division here. Oh boy, did they pick a hell of a one, but that's alright, we know this coach pretty well. My sister knows him rather intimately, but he's really good with his hands, all the bloody time. So, speaking of, the Amazons are going to have their challenges ahead of them. Let's take a look at his team. 13 roster. He might end up padding up to 14 in this division. He might need the body. Or maybe not. 3 rerolls. The top 9 fan factor. He's right up there. He's not so weird. And of course the Apothecary. Looking at the team, you can see the Blodge stack and the Wrestle stacks going in here. He's got the extra tackle, funny enough. So he's actually become a counter elf team of all things. And then of course he's got the one sitting out for the game. And you can see stand firm. He's even started stacking the gods. So these Amazons can give what for. But I can hear you all going, oi, laddie, guess what? They're all stuck in with not 1 but 2 bloody dwarves in this division. How do you think he's going to fare? Well, see, that's the thing. Because look at the TV. It's a low TV compared to those 2 teams. So they're going to be giving up massive incentives to this team. Meaning he can easily go and get cures or problems for the Dwarf and the Dwarf teams. Now you're suddenly realising, yeah, he might just be right where he needs to be. If his opponents come in and look at him as an easy win, they're going to get another think coming, aren't they? So what is the rating for this team? Yeah, the full spectrum. They've got a 6 out of 7 martinis. He's going to be drinking them all the way. And here's the crazy prediction. They're going to go pretty bloody far. So, let's take a look at the division's actually done. Alright, we've now reviewed the teams that have gotten into the Nephin division here. So, let's take a look how day 1 carried itself out here. So, at the time of the recording for here for the broadcast here, day 1 was already done and stuck in. As you can see there, the Amazons, well, they did what everyone expected them to do. 2-0 over Marienburg. Well, that's going to be a hard one for Marienburg to crawl out of. Not much expectations for that, but as he said, Marienburg is now going to have to go to the mattress and try and pull out a good, solid win in their next game. At this one, the broadcast is absolutely hysterical for just seeing it's Nuffling time indeed by 2 very skilled coaches doing the best they can in an absolutely crazy matchup. The Dwarves and the Pro Elves, I think that would go almost all dwarf-wise, but 1-1 is your final score. Both teams, I think, in the end, I don't think either's happy with that result. It's a tie and neither's happy. And then meanwhile over here, the Norse versus the Burning Machines. Let's face it, the Norse snake away, they get a tie, and both teams just went all at it. It was delightful to watch and see, and it's going to be a fun time. So, let's get this out of the way here because that's still looking there. Right up Millwall. So, let's take a look at the leaderboard. So, what is the results? And we will warn you, it looks like a second game's already gone through here. So, here we are. The Chorfs, they've actually now, in their second game, yes, that's it, they've actually pulled out a win. And guess who they actually pulled it off on? Yeah, you got it. They actually pulled it off against, of all things, Pro Elves. Well, they'll take that one there. So, right now, 1-1. It's a good start. You've only got 3 more games to go. That's a good, solid start here. Amazons, as I can understand, as I'm recording this as we speak, they're in the fight of their life against the Dwarves. It's going to be an interesting one. I might have to take a peek at that again later. Now, the Dwarves here, it's a solid tie. They'll take it for now, but quite frankly, they're disappointed. They expect to get a solid win against the Amazons, but according to what I'm hearing out of the broadcast booth, that is a hell of a battle going on down in that stadium. As for the Norse, they've got a tie, fine. You know what his goal is? 5 solid ties, and that almost might be enough to actually advance in this division. Barely, but it might be enough. Now, here we go. Elven Unit, the Pro Elves here. Well, this suddenly hits. They've eaten a pure loss, but he's got the right idea, and he can actually go and engineer a win or two, and he should be fine. But he's got to engineer a win or two. And then, of course, here we are, the humans. Well, like I said, you got your first loss, fine. Now you've got to come back and get a solid win. Basically, any team down here at the bottom, your next game absolutely has got to be a good, solid win. Now, admittedly, if the Amazons pull off the second win, they can actually shift it into cruise control, because 2 solid wins, and all you need to be is top 4 in cruise control at that point. So, that's been a pleasure to see, and it's been enjoyable to watch. So, thank you all. We're going to have a great adventure, aren't we here, lads? Okay, so let's send you all off here. So take a look at the teams there. See, there you go. And we'll see what happens by the time the next broadcast, the BBPN is. It's going to be pretty funny, because by then I can almost guarantee you've got shaken out by this time. Some of you have got to rise, and some of you are sadly going to fall. But in the end, you made it, lads. Feel proud. Nuffle, bless your dice.
I love how you find these companies with names that I've never heard of. I almost wonder if you just make them up. Really. And then claim that somebody paid us. And when I mean us, I mean you. Anyway, enough of that. I'll be surprised if the VGP division, that's what I think we're supposed to call it, isn't done by end of the week, because they are traveling fast. Okay, enough of this. Let's go over to Ace in the Court division.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Bbpn. This is Ace, your heretic, coming with you with the round 2 of Cord. Round 1 is over. We're in round 2. We're already into day 2. We're going fast and furious already. Finhell was the 6th person to come out of round 1. I do not remember which division he went into, though, sadly. But we shall look into the new shakeup, the 6 teams that moved on, and to see who is going to be moving on, and to see the teams fighting it out to move on to the playoffs. So, we have 6 teams registered, well, it says 7 here, but I think 2 are placeholders. Let's see, Pretty, Dead, Bone. Okay, so JJ's Dynamite isn't in here, I guess. He was just a placeholder, I think. So, let's look at the leaderboard, our schedule, and see how it's going out. So, day 1, we have a 2-0 win for the Seattle Sun Tigers over Helix's Chaos Dwarves in a game that was casted by Scum in a crazy bloodbath that the Orcs were able to pull out of. The Lizards beat the Skaven 2-1, and the Undead... Is it Undead or is it Necro? No, Necro get the 1-1 draw over the Orcs, the ones that ran with the core division in round 1. And here we see the Seattle Sun Tigers, the replacement Orc team, beat the round 1 core division champions, the Bone Munchers 3-1, and the Cardinal Senators get a 1-1 draw over the Dinosaurs. We still have yet to have the Skaven play the Necro, but that should happen pretty soon. So as it sits, the Orcs with a 2-0-0 and nearly the highest TV in the division this guy is starting to pull something together, and he's at number 1 with 200. The Vader Free Dinosaurs with the 110 at 2. Necros sitting at 1 draw, but they have yet to play, so these could shuffle around a little bit with Skaven against Skaven, who is at the bottom at 001, but he's Skaven. They don't need a lot of TV to be good. It's better, but those Gunner Runners alone can do so much work. And then you have the Orcs and Chaos Dwarves also at 011. And I'm surprised they're this low. Going to show that Nuffle sometimes hates people. So let's go ahead and look at them. And let's look at them as it is right now. And let's look at the surprising team coming out of the core division. Seattle Sun Tigers for good time. So he does have a level 3 thrower. He did take leader, so that gives him 4 rerolls as long as he stays on the pitch. 1 Apothecary, 6 Fan Factor. He did have a Blitzer die versus the Chaos Dwarves. He was level 2 with Mighty Blow. Sucks, but it happens. The strength up Orc is leveling. He's probably going to get block, guard. If he rolls another double, like I can only. Ooh, this guy is going to be dangerous. He's a mini ripper waiting to happen. Block on the Black Orc, block tackle, AG up and Mighty Blow, block guard. So he has 2 block Black Orcs, maybe 3, depending on what he takes here, and some guard to help the line, a bunch of linemen, and he did get that replacement Blitzer. So he has a 14 deep or 13 deep roster, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 deep roster. So with 2 reserves, I expect, especially if he gets another lineman to level, as he also did lose a block lineman, I want to see some dirty player. I mean, come on, you have a deep bench, your Orcs. You could probably get some fouling in there. Maybe get another guard as we go in, but getting block on this guy is going to be massive. Probably get guard on another person like possibly this Black Orc if he can get a MVP. But he's doing a damn good job of himself after qualifying and just going on a tear recently. So at number 2, we have the very pretty dinosaurs of the defending world champion Guinness. Yes, he is in the core division this time around, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, look at that. While his skinks aren't very leveled, as they are skinks, so he's probably had some die, had to be fired, etc., etc. One is leveled with diving tackle, sidestep. What an annoying little son of a bitch. He just dodges in, marks you up, and he's not going anywhere unless you got block and tackle. The Crocs with guard and stand firm, so if he gets you with that tail, he's not going anywhere. Saurus with block, a Saurus with Mighty Blow, tackle, and block. Another Saurus with Blodge, of all things, a Frenzy block, and a block. So, if you remember, we had 2 lizards in our division that I covered in round 1, and the issue one of them had was only 2 Sauruses were leveling. This is why he's having so much success. The skinks are getting plenty of support from the Saurus because the Saurus are leveled. They're not getting killed by those 1 in 9 rolls. They're not, forcing them to eat rerolls. I mean, he does have this one here, but this just prevents so much risk management to where only 1 in 36 skulls are going to hurt you. And he's doing a hell of a good job, especially this one. This is a pretty juicy foul target. I'm expecting this is going to have, if we had a bounty system, this would easily have a bounty on his head. But he's doing a damn good job getting the Sauruses leveled. The skinks, we probably want to see more levels on, but I mean, literally a pass and 2 touchdowns, and he has 3 levels, just bam, bam, bam. Just like that. Maybe gets a double, gets block on him for Blodge. But he's doing a hell of a good job, and he's showing why he's the defending world champ. Next, let's go to the Dead Skis from Zekdoman. Playing the Necro. He is out a white, but doesn't look like anything serious on the stats. So is it... So yeah, just missed the next game. So, Nothing serious. He is losing guard piece though. That really, really hurts. As his other guard did take guard, which I kind of agree with, but I don't, because you do need tackle. And one werewolf with tackle, I don't think it's going to cut it. You need the whites also. The whites are an extremely important piece. One Blodge Ghoul, the other one not fresh out the box. Bunch of zombies. The Flesh Golem has leveled up to Blodge with Stand Firm. I cannot tell you from last season, playing against Panda, when he had Necro, Blodge Stand Firm is one of the biggest fucking annoyances in the world. So this is an amazing, amazing roadblock. He does have a Flesh Golem fresh out, so I'm guessing he died. With 6 Fan Factor 3 rerolls, I can see him with this build. It's a little under leveled for what I would like to see, but I can see him doing pretty damn well just with the pieces he has. Just because whites are pretty nice, the werewolves are nice and mobile. They do what they need to do, and this golem is just going to be the most annoying frontliner in the world. Then let's go into the round 1 core division champions that are having some issues, and instantly you see he's going to be out his Mighty Blow guard Blitzer, but he does have a Mighty Blow tackle. He has another one with guard, and he has another Mighty Blow tackle, so it's not like he's missing a massive, massive piece of his machine. He does have alignment with a movement down, but okay, you know, just put him on line. He's there to get hit anyway. A throw with block. Alignment with wrestle. He is also going to be missing a guard black orc, and I think with round 2 and these skilled up teams, not having block on these black orcs is really starting to come to bite them in the ass, because now the black orcs are going down due to 1-die blocks, even red die blocks if they're so inclined, and all I need is both down. And bam, down goes the black orcs, then they're able to get in and start hitting the strength 3 guys. So I think it's a combination of this, maybe a little Nuffle, but he's having a rough go of it. He's still in it, but man, is he having a rough go at it. And come on, Hogstinge, we're expecting a lot more of you. Then if we go to the leaderboard, we have the Cardinal Sinners of Dr. Helix. The Chaos Dwarves. His strip ball, sure hands. Gobo is out with a minus AV decrease, which sucks. So that strip ball level up completely worthless now in my opinion, because now you're not going to be blitzing in with AV6. That's just a disaster waiting to happen. I never really understood this combo anyway. Either he's a ball handler or he's a blitzer. Like, I don't understand this. Maybe Helix will tell me when he watches this broadcast, but if you want to dedicate a blitzer, I get that hobos are not the easiest thing to level, but I mean, I feel like you're trying to make this one do a little too much compared to the rest. Like, you have a Blodge Hobgoblin. There's your ball carrier. Though you might have gotten that, dodge after the sure hands. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't like this combo just because I feel like it's trying to do a piece that does too much that isn't able to actually do the roles it needs to do. But if we go up to his dwarves, he is missing a level on this one, which sucks, which probably would be guard. He has 3 guard, 1 with Mighty Blow, so he only has 1 Mighty Blow on the entire team. So removal isn't really strong on this team, but with all this guard, I mean, they're dwarves, they're able to just 1-die and block you down all day. Break tackle, and block on this Bull Centaur finally. So he has the mobility, he has pieces that can do stuff, but right here, these are his 2-star players. He got 2 claw, most likely he can Mighty Blow when they level, if they can level. Then the removals start happening, the guard starts really kicking in, and he's just going to start dominating if he can get that far. And lastly, Feeble goes ham. I am Sancho. His rats are not having a good day. So he has AG2 missing on the Storm Vermin with Blodge. it's hard to say. It is hard to say, do you get rid of this player? AG2 means he's not dodging anywhere. So wherever you choose to put him, he is staying. Granted, it's going to be harder to hit him with Blodge, but he's not that mobile anymore. He does have a Claw Storm Room, which is great if you can get Mighty Blow. There's his removal piece. Sure, he has his thrower. All the linemen, he is missing a lineman next game. That's the life of lineman. He's missing his 2-head gunner runners and his sidestep block gunner runner, so he's down to a level 1 and level 3 gutter runner versus... Who is he versus next, actually? Oh, right. The Necros. He has a tackle werewolf, and you only have 2 gutter runners. And the thing about werewolves is they move 8. Gutter runners, they move 9. So yes, you have a 1 thing advantage, but werewolves aren't no slouches either, so he's going to be chasing the ever-loving shit out of these 2 gutter runners all game long. Personally, I'm sorry to say, Sancho, this is... While your gutter runners have some nice levels, I feel you're a little underdeveloped in the Storm Vermin. Your linemen, there's like no dirty player. Though granted, you probably had some lineman level, but they've died as of rats. But you're just taking a beating and missing 2 gunner runners. I don't see you beating the Necro team with just 2 gutters. You're going to be relying on loners next game, so I think Sancho's already out of it, sadly. But who knows? This is Blood Bowl, so something might happen. But that is the round 2 teams so far. I shall see you guys next time on Bbpn when we are going into probably match day 4 with how fast this is going. And we might start to see who will be moving on to the playoffs. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. And this is your local heretic saying, remember, spill blood for the blood god and collect skulls for the skull throne. Until next time.
Good coverage, Ace. Yeah, that good time guy. He is good. He's good. I'm looking forward to seeing the Seattle Sun Tigers and the Very Pretty Dinosaurs face off. That will be an interesting match. Alright, so that is it for Core Division. Let's move on to our last but not least, CDT with 2 kills, 1 cup.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Alright, Blood Bowl fans. This is 2 kills, 1 cup with your coverage of the World Cup Qualifier CDT Division. Here we are on round 2, and we are already advanced to the 2nd day. But first off, let's look at the teams in the CD here. We have Steeler Daddy with his Bats Out of Hell, myself with Sora Circus, Panda with Runnin' Wild, Vapor Gecko with Chill Dudes and Cool Dogs, Cadet with Typical Lizards, Lando the Gambler with Notorious Lotharios, and Tasserin with the King of Diamonds. Oh, and it looks like Vapor Gecko is actually not in this. I forgot. There was a little bit of a mix-up between who's and what, and it is actually Steeler Daddy, myself, Panda, Cadet, Lando, and Tass. So far we've had day 1 finish with Notorious Lotharios beating the King of Diamonds, Tass, 3-1. Cadet beating Steeler Daddy, 1-0. And myself losing to Panda, 1-2. And in day 2, we have Typical Lizards defeating Notorious Lotharios, which is kind of a surprise, I think, even for Cadet, as he predicted himself not to. And Bats Out of Hell tying with Running Wild. And just Tass for Sora Circus to finish up this round. Currently in the leaderboard, we have Typical Lizards with Cadet. He is leading the pack and is in a strong position to continue on. He would need to literally lose everything else not to continue. And then we have Panda in 2nd, Lando in 3rd, and then Steeler with myself and Tass leading up the rear. Take a look at the teams here too. We have Steeler Daddy's Bats Out of Hell. Undead team, got 2 mummies with guard, 1 with stand firm, so kind of a classic setup. Looks like Ghoul Heaven here for him, 1 with a +1 AG, 1 with a +1 armor, another with +1 strength, and blodge on the one with AG and the one with strength, which makes these crazy pieces. He also has a army of zombies here, 1 with dirty player, another with kick. 2 whites, both with mighty blow and 1 with tackle. So really, this team's just ugly. I would be surprised if we wouldn't have trouble taking out the rest of the opponents in this division. So this is a scary team. Sora Circus. Alright. Not in the greatest shape here. We got a Croxy with break tackle. 1 Soros with block and tackle, another with block, 1 with mighty blow, and another with block tackle. And then some skinks, 2 with sidestep, and 1 of those with a diving tackle. Only 13 rerolls here. This team is questionable just because of what we just saw, and in dealing with some of the other teams we've got. Another Lizardman team that's going to have similar strengths. Still have to play 1 more Wood Elf team, and about to play these orcs. So this is going to be very difficult, I think, for myself to continue on. I knew as we went in, the Lizardmen I thought would have trouble winning this division, but Cadet is proving otherwise. Panna's running wild. Alright, we've got 2 War Dancers, 1 with a Niggler that I put on. This other War Dancer with +1 movement also has Frenzy. We got a Catcher with Blodge and Sidestep and Sprint. Ugh, yeah, +1 AG. That guy's awesome. Then we've got Thrower out with, looks like Miss Next Game. No dice there. 2 Rogers, 1 with -1 movement. We got Kick out there. We do have another Catcher who already has Blodge. And he has another Thrower, so this one might be gone. Who knows? Like to see what Panda's going to do with this. He's sitting higher with a 14-10 value on his team, but really there's a pretty good mix of skills along these, and I've seen him in action, so I actually expect Panda to do pretty good. Let's continue to see how it does. Oh, right. Cadets, typical lizards. Alright, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Saurus. Got a Croxy. Guard, stand firm. One of those Saurus has guard. 1 has diving tackle, which I think is a little bit of an interesting choice. But if he's going to be posting up on guys, that can make sense. We've got 2 skinks with sidestep. We got a blodge skink with sidestep. And just a mix next game. Another skink with +1 strength and wrestle. I'm questioning that because I think that's just going to be an immediate target, but this might be good for him because he can run into cages without fail and wrestle the ball out. So I know why he chose that direction. So it's possibly a good piece. And then another with sidestep and diving tackle, which I expect. I think this piece actually is going to make or break how Cadet finish the next games, and knowing his skill, I actually think he'll do just fine. And with the source level up, I think he's in a good spot. Next up, Lando's Notarios Lotharios. Alright, got some linemen, 1 with Raj and -1 movement. Got 1 with Wrestle and a Niggler. Another lineman with Kick, so he's got 2 kick pieces here to match his War Dancers. The Tree Man is still unskilled. We've got Kick. We do have a Catcher with Blodge. So he's pretty good there. And then 1 more Dancer with the Tackle and the Sidestep, which makes that a nice piece. Another one with, oh my god, a +1 movement, +1 agility, and Mighty Blow. So, once again, a second scary Wood Elf team here. I expect him to do still well with what he's got here. Nice set of skills along a bunch of different pieces. And last but not least, TATS with the Orcs. He has gone the route of the Black Orcs with Guard, so just a line of strength 2 die blocks all over the place, and sometimes 3. 2 Blitzers, one with +1 movement and tackle, but another with tackle, and one with +1 agility and mighty blow, which is kind of an interesting combination, but I think he's really kind of moving in, throwing a block, knocking the ball loose, picking up the ball with the higher AG. Another Blitzer with block and guard, and really that's going to be just a piece to move around and help assist. Thrower with strong arm. Lineman with -1 agility, which is no big loss. And sitting at a roster of 12. 3 team rerolls, still a lower team value. It'll be interesting to see how he does. He does have some tackle, and really this guard means that he's probably going to do well versus the higher strength Lizardman teams and mummies in this division. So I actually think this is a good division for TATS to kind of take the task and get some wins in. Alright, so predictions. King of Diamonds, Sword Circus. It's going to be a tough battle. I think it might be a 2-2 tie. This next round, of round 3, we're going to predict that Notorious Lotharios loses to Bats Out of Hell just because there's so much power there. And so many pieces strong on Bats Out of Hell. King of Diamonds versus Run Wild, a lot of tackle, guard. I'm worried that King of Diamonds may prove to beat these Wood Elves, and I'm looking for some Wood Elf deaths before I get to play Notorious Lothario, so I'm thinking TATS might pull through there. And then Typical Lizards versus Sword Circus. I do have more block, and I do have some more tackle, so I actually might be able to prevail over the Typical Lizards. So I'm predicting a 2-1 of Sword Circus over the Typical Lizards. But that is all the coverage we have now. And then after that, next week, we will do rounds 4 and 5. So, this is 2 kills out. And always remember, if the dice stink, remember, kill Panda.
Interesting predictions, 2 kills. Interesting. Let's see how it pans out for you. Okay, gents, that is it for BBPN this week. Join us next week as we see who makes the playoffs. This is Cadet Tank saying, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, but never bet against me.